I cannot believe I have been muted this whole time. Are you serious? Okay, so I have essential questions up, which was what does heart vitality mean to you? I'm hoping and praying that you guys were able to hear me. And I also put up what the second question is, what vitamin do you think is super important for the heart, like very helpful for the heart? I am trying to move this bar and making sure, I'm hoping that it's not in your way. I'm hoping you don't see it like that. Okay, so this week's removals, I'm going to get right into it. So after you take a second and answer those, I want you to now, let's focus on what we need to remove. All right, and I never give you a removal without an addition, all right, or a reason why, and you're going to get a word straight from the doc. All right, so fluoride-based mouthwash. So most of your mouthwash, it is not worth it. There are a lot of people who have resistant hypertension. You're on meds and it's still high, or you're trying to get off the meds naturally, and it's just not, it's just not working. And a lot of people have never even considered that there's such a phenomenon called oral dysbiosis. And a lot of people's hypertension is rooted and tied into, so they've adjusted the sodium, they adjusted the sugar, they adjusted the oils, they adjusted, the sodium potassium ratio, they've adjusted the alcohol, they've addressed all of those major traps that I discussed in level 1. So now this is where we're starting to get into the weeds in level 2, and we're going to get even more into the weeds when you take level 3. There's levels to this. Somebody say levels. So essential question number 1. What is heart vitality? It's a very, very important question that you need to be able to answer for yourself. And then what vitamins are super important to the heart? All right, there's some important vitamins, but for your sake and for what you care about and what your heart's journey is, we need to care about what the heart cares about. All right, first and foremost, before we get to some of the others. All right. So this week's removals is fluoride-based mouthwash. We're going to get to the toothpaste as well. As you can see at the bottom, it says what? Fluoride and aluminum-based toothpaste. You got to get rid of it. It's time to cut it. You know how that song, it goes, cut it, cut it, cut it. You need to cut it. It's time to cut it. Cut it. Done. Cut it. You feel me? It's time to cut the fluoride-based mouthwash. It is not worth, listen, the lemon ain't worth the squeeze. Not when it comes down to this. The fluoride and aluminum-based toothpaste ain't worth the squeeze. I'm telling y'all, listen, this ain't from me. This is from people who are far more smart than me, people who are actually in the trenches, who have done the research, who have spent time, decades and years actually looking into this and actually doing peer-reviewed studies. So there is something very, very important to us called nitric oxide. And so I want you to hear from the Nobel laureate who actually got the Nobel Peace Prize for his discovery of this important molecule that's in our bodies that needs to be made, that is essential for your heart. Let's put it like this. High blood pressure, hypertension cannot exist if nitric oxide is going hard in the paint and doing what it needs to do and being developed at the normal sufficient levels that it's supposed to be. So guess what gets in the way of that? Ding, 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 you guessed it. Fluoride-based mouthwash and toothpaste. So you're getting rid of your so-called plaque, you're getting your teeth together, but you're jacking up your heart in the process. Where they do that at? Not here, not today. We are going to go ahead. We're going to stop playing. We're going to stop playing with Chucky because he's not your friend to the end. We're going to go on ahead and cut it, cut it, cut it. All right, let me stop playing. You can see I'm in a giddy mood today. All right, let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear what the doc has to say. It would be nice if it played, huh? Right? You need to cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. Okay. Oh man, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. Why isn't the video playing? No, don't do that to me. No, darling. You can't. You can't. There you are, darling. There you are. Darling, don't be that way. No, no, no. What is going on? Okay, so like, seriously? This is what happens in such a great clip, and I just like you to get words from the docs so you can see this is not just me. It's not me making it up. It's just something about you hearing it straight from the doctor. The doctor. Okay. You guys have no idea why I'm now all of a sudden getting this like cross. Jeez, Louise, are we serious right now? Okay, so how about we're going to pause that and I'm gonna stop the share. How about that? And then we're gonna start a screen share again and what is going on? This is so weird, you guys. I just cannot believe it's actually doing this. Hey, it's actually showing some blocked. Geez Louise. Okay. Ain't nobody mad but the devil, y'all. Ain't nobody mad but the devil. 1 second. I just cannot believe that it wants to do this.
A little bit and talk about,
Okay, let me go back now to see if I can just share it directly from YouTube, you guys. Okay, let's try this fancy pants again. Okay, let's go for it.
Some of the other things that also inhibit nitric oxide production, a lot of people won't necessarily think about.
No. Oh, come on.
One of the things is about some of the mouthwash that are out there on the market. Tell us about that. This might be new to a lot.
You know as much as I do about nitric oxide, Drew. That's fantastic. Well, when we eat lots of root vegetables, leafy vegetables that contain nitrite and nitrate, NO3 minus, NO2 minus. And these nitrates that we take in actually are pretty healthy because they help to boost the production of nitric oxide in the body. They're actually converted to nitric oxide. If you have NO3, NO2, you can kind of think, even if you're not a chemist, that certain enzymes might be able to convert that to NO. And that's exactly what happens. Now, in the mouth, we have a very important enzyme that converts nitrate to nitrite. So NO3 to NO2. That's the enzyme is in the mouth. And then you swallow NO2 into your stomach. It's absorbed into the blood, and that forms NO. And it's carried throughout the body. It's great. I mean, there are many ways to form NO, and that's one way to form NO. So if you eat lots of spinach, kale, arugula, beets, you're in good shape. But the thing is this, if you're going to do all that, don't use a mouthwash because the mouthwashes have ingredients in them that kill and really kill the enzymes that make the nitrite and the NO. Those molecules, those substances in the mouthwash, of course, do kill the bacteria that cause bad breath. Yes. And believe me, some people do need that. There's no question about it. But the same mouthwashes will block NO production. So I've written letters and I've really never heard back, but I don't even know what industry to call it. The mouthwash industry needs to come up with different kinds of chemicals that will affect selectively the enzymes that cause bad breath and leave the nice ones alone that make nitric oxide. And then we'll be in much better shape.
All right. So I hope that you guys found that. If you've never had a chance to check out the Drew Puritt podcast, I'm going to actually drop a link. You guys should subscribe to their channel. Check out Dr. Louis Ignaro, like tons of knowledge on nitric oxide. I highly, highly recommend it. And what a great short clip to really, truly sum up and teach you about mouthwash and why you need to find a natural form of it. If you need some suggestions, I certainly can help you with that. However, we're going to keep this party going, and I hope that you could see just from that. Excuse me, let's go ahead and get back to the screen share. So I want you guys to be able to follow along. Cannot believe the video just would not show like that. All right. So there's a term specifically.
I want to zoom out a little bit and talk about, some of the other things that
oral
also
dysbiosis. Okay.
inhibit nitric oxide production that a lot of people won't.
Mouthwash kills like the good bacteria. Basically, there needs to be like a balance of the bacteria within your mouth, and specifically the good guys, just like he says. And so when you dissing the good bacteria that's helping you, and your heart needs nitric oxide, your body needs nitric oxide, but more importantly, your heart. And put it like this, you cannot have high blood pressure if nitric oxide is where it's supposed to be, point blank, period. So oxidative stress, everything gets to just, elevate and wreak havoc. Nitric oxide is bad mama jamma. It is essential. All right, so let's get into, now that we've dealt with the removals, we are going to deal with this week's add-ons. Yay! So, walnuts. I didn't say Walnuts. I said walnuts. All right. Stop being so silly, Miss Wells. Okay. All right. No. Let me be serious. Hopefully I made you guys laugh. I needed to make myself laugh as well. This week's add-ons are walnuts, kale, grass-fed butter, liquid vitamin K2 and D3. I truly believe in getting things naturally from foods. You can reverse your hypertension naturally. You can get it from food. You can do this. So this week's add-ons, if you're not already incorporating this into your weekly routine, walnuts need to get into your weekly regimen. Kale needs to be your best friend. Not all veggies are created equal. Kale is your best friend. You can kale your way from hypertension. Kale your way. So when you're looking at vegetables, kale is one that has to be in your top 3. All right. Grass-fed butter. Butter, bring back the butter, baby, real butter, not that fake stuff, not no fake. Listen, your body know what to do with the real butter. Your body don't know what to do with that fake mess, that fake plastic mess. No, we ain't fooling with that margarine. We ain't fooling with the fake butter. You're talking about keeping it real, keep it real in your food. How about that? Stop keeping it so fake. Get some real butter, and not just any butter, grass-fed butter. Okay. All right. And liquid vitamin K2 or liquid vitamin D3. I highly recommend both, especially K2. All right. So I use a company called On It, and I would highly recommend, if you'd like a link to the On It store, you can find them on Amazon or onit.com, NIT, like on it. Literally, I love the name of the company. All right. So they have a vitamin, they have like a guava, you can get it in guava, plum, was it grapefruit? There's so many different flavors. Drink your vitamin, drink it, get it from food. I'm not a big fan of like popping pills for this, that, and the other, and all this kind of stuff. I don't subscribe to the sick care system, neither should you. Get it from food. Get it from food. I want you to use and adopt one of the add-ons or more this week and tell me how that goes. So your homework assignment is, this is Hypertension Fix Level 2, Week 2, your homework assignment, which is due to me within 72 hours. I want you to identify an aluminum-free or natural form of mouthwash, an alternative to start using regularly, if applicable. If you're someone like me, you gotta have some, mouthwash. Tom's of Maine makes some. I know there are lots of others that are out there that are natural forms. If you really want to just make it real plain, you can get yourself some ground cloves, a little bit of salt, and some warm water, put it together, gargle that bad boy up, and keep it moving. You can do some pulling within your mouth, around your teeth, all that good stuff. Listen, it'll get you together if you want just like a little quick natural remedy. There are tons of alternatives out there. There's, variations you can make with like peppermint, things like that. So, but you got to get the aluminum out. You got to get the fluoride out of the mouthwash. So your homework assignment is to find one. If you're someone that's using mouthwash, you got to get it stopped. You got to stop this. If you want to conquer this, if you want to fire hypertension, some of you, this may be that thing to put you where you need to be naturally with natural hypertension. This may be the thing that solves your specific puzzle. Everybody's different. That's why we're going to continue to go through, and I curate this experience for you so that you can continue to check and evaluate and see what things your body specifically is responding to. Because for you, it might be the mouthwash. For someone else, it might be the toothpaste. For someone else, it might be the both of them. So this could be that thing that puts them over the edge of the zone of where they need to be with their hypertension levels, all right? And making sure we fire it. That's what I mean. All right. And then I want you to pick an add-on to try for the week. Are you going to add in the walnuts, or are you going to try the kale, or are you going to try the grass-fed butter, or the vitamin K2 or vitamin D3 spray? Now is the time. I highly recommend On It. It's one of the best that I've seen on the market, at least now for about a decade. So, I would highly recommend that you go with them, and they give you a money back guarantee. All right. So you're going to pick an add-on to try for this week. Excuse me. You're going to submit your choice. It's due within 72 hours, and you're going to email it to myabundanthealth@gmail.com. myabundanthealth@gmail.com. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. The number 2. myabundanthealth@gmail.com. All right. See, you made it through this week's lesson. As I said, my name is Shawnte Wells, and I am the owner and operator of Abundant Health Services. I am your National Health Educator. Hope you've enjoyed this week's lesson, and I hope that you will definitely make today a great one. I am delighted to be here with you. Use your resources. Use your resources. I created a channel for you guys. If you're in this class, you literally have, if you wanted to do a deep dive into hypertension and natural remedies and ways, and hear from doctors, or get just more information on specifically essential hypertension and what you can do, things to avoid, things that you can add in that goes in even more depth than what we go into in this course. All of that is included with your registration. Use your resources. All right. I look forward to being with you guys next week for your next session. Again, this concludes level 2, session 2. I am Shawnte Health Wells. Make it a great day. Keep it 100 so you'll live beyond 100. Thank you for coming to Mabel's Virtual Health School. Peace.